Come on in, ladies. Come on in. It's our time together. It's Tea Talk with Dr. T, like we do every Sunday, 7 o'clock p.m. Come on in. Come on in. Let me see you. Let me see you. Let me see you. Make sure you are sharing this as you all come in. You got a sister that needs to know this. Why we are always tired. Why we are always tired. Like, that is the question. Like, you ask yourself that all the time. Why am I always tired? So, make sure you are sharing this as you are coming in. Let me see you. Let me see you. As you come in, let me know where you're watching me from. What state are you in? Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida. Let me see you. Let me see you. Arizona, Virginia. Show me where you're watching me from. Y'all come on in. Let's see. Let's talk about why we are so tired. Why are we so tired all the time? Midlife is not about being tired, it's about living our best life. Yeah, hey Brenda, it's about living our best life. Now is not the time to be tired, woe out. Now is not the time to be exhausted. Now is the time for you to put all of that energy that you put into other people for so many years. Midlife is all about you putting that energy into yourself. So, as you're coming on tonight, again, let me see where you're watching me from. Put your state, put your city. Let me know where you are watching me from. I enjoy our Sunday nights together. This is our time to come together as sisters with our hot tea. Y'all know I love me some tea. Been loving tea for a very long time. Even as a little girl, I love tea. And so it's something about tea that makes you slow down. It's something about tea that makes you just kind of sit and reflect. And I think that's why I like it so much, because you cannot drink hot tea fast. You can't do it. It is impossible to drink some hot tea fast. So I love the fact that you sit and you watch, you sit and you drink it, and it makes you slow down. And so tonight's topic is simply this: why we're so tired. Because when you drink a cup of hot tea, you can't do it fast. And so it's a great time to sit and reflect about why we feel the way we feel. Hey, S. Reynolds from the UK. Oh my God. Hey, girl. It's so good to see you. I'm so glad you're on. All right, so let's get started. Why you're so tired? Why is it now? Why is it now that we feel this way? Right? We have gone our 20s, our 30s, our 40s, part of our 50s. I'll be 56 in September. Part of our 50s, we've been going 1,000 miles an hour, if that's possible. But it's something about this stage in our lives that makes us just kind of slow down and go, and we realize just how exhausted we really are. So, I got a question for you. When was the last time you rested without feeling guilty? Right? When was the last time you could get some good rest without feeling guilty? And I know for some of us, it was when I was sick. Let's just be honest. Can we be honest with each other tonight? For some of us, it's when I was sick that I got good rest, when my body actually just said, I'm not doing this anymore. But I want to tell you, the last time I got really, really good rest is when I actually had COVID, right? I had COVID in February. And I'm not saying that you need to get sick to rest. But here's the thing: I was so tired, right? I was so tired that even when I called myself was resting, my brain wasn't resting, right? My brain was not even resting. But when I got COVID, I realized that, you know what? My body was resting. I was sitting on this very sofa, right? Watching TV, watching a Hallmark movie, or watching Big Bang Theory, or watching the Flintstones and the Jetsons. But even while I called myself sitting here watching TV, I was grading papers, or I was scrolling on my phone, or I was doing something else other than just being in the moment and resting. And so I started thinking, I was like, wait a minute, when am I fully resting? And that's what made me put a post up this week asking you all, right? I put a post up this week and I asked you all, why is it that we feel guilty when we rest? And so many of you shared a lot of great insight. And the one recurring theme I heard over and over and over again is that we were taught that resting meant that we were lazy. That when you take time for you, when you sit with you, when you quote unquote do nothing, you're being lazy. And so fast forward back to having COVID in February, I couldn't do anything. I was too sick to grade papers. I was too sick to cook. I was too sick to clean. I was too sick to do anything other than just lay in the bed and sleep. For the first time, my husband, he came in there and he kept saying, yeah, see, in my house, when you sick, you banish to the other side of the house. I don't know about y'all's house. But when somebody's sick in my house, either Lawrence is banned to the other side of the house or I'm banned to the other side of the house. Nope, going over there. But when he would come and check on me, I wasn't laying in the bed. Listen, I had the covers all over my head, but I wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking about the things I needed to do. What I was focused on simply was just laying there and being. Can y'all imagine that? That it took me getting sick to realize that I wasn't really getting the rest that I needed. And so we feel that when we are resting, or we think we're resting, we're not doing what we should be doing for other people. We're not being productive. We're not taking care of everyone else. We're not saying yes to other people's needs. We're not working harder for whoever and whatever we're working harder for. We're not even being the strong one or the one that needs to show up for everybody else. But it was in that time, y'all, that I was sick that I realized, golly, girl, you're not even resting right. So I want to share with you tonight one of the things that I researched out of being sick with COVID back in February. What other types of rest are there? Because COVID made me sit down for somewhere. So listen, COVID sat me down. It wasn't a bad case of COVID, but it was just enough to make me sit down, or like the old folks say, sat down. And I did. I rested and recovered. And so I want to share the 7 areas that you need to rest in, sis, because it's not just the physical rest that we're thinking, right? We think that if we sit on the couch and we are watching TV and we scrolling on this, we're resting. We think that if we laying in the bed and watching TV, we're resting. But I'm going to challenge what your definition of rest really is tonight. So let's go with the first area of rest. Of course, the first area of rest is physical rest. And when we say what rest really is, rest isn't just doing nothing. I just told you that. Rest isn't just filling up your empty tank, right? But it's really about restoring what life has depleted from you. Let's be honest. Life takes a lot out of us. If that's you, type that in the chat. Type the word depleted, because that's how I felt in February. I felt depleted. Type that in the chat and let me see if feeling depleted is something that you feel from time to time. I just want to know that I'm not by myself. Like, am I the only one that runs on 1,000 sometimes? Do you ever get depleted? Yep. I just want to know, am I the only one? Because when you're depleted, it takes thank you. I'm not the only one. When you're depleted, you've got to figure out what it takes for you to fill your bucket back up, right? To give you energy. So the first thing I want you to think about is number 1. Yep. Thank you, Brenda. I do feel depleted sometimes, right? So the first way that we need rest is physical rest. Physically, you've got to rest your body. And so we do that through sleep. We do that by stretching. I just got into stretching. I love it. Yoga, come on. Oh my gosh. yoga, getting a massage. I was just talking to a client the other day, and she said, girl, if I could get a massage every week, I would. And that's a form of physical rest. Another way of physically resting is taking a walk. I'm not saying take a walk like you exercise and walk. I'm talking about strolling. I'm talking about relaxing. I'm talking about walking through nature at sunset or sunrise. Really taking your time, not engaging in conversation or engaging in something that really takes your mental capacity to get through. But I'm saying just woo sign, just taking that moment and then saying no to other people. Yep. Sometimes that's a requirement. So the first way that we rest is physical rest. Some of y'all are only sleeping 4 and 5 hours a night. That's not enough rest for you. Your body needs more. And so I'm going to gently challenge you, ladies. I'm going to gently challenge you to find ways to increase your physical rest, right? That's the first way that we need rest. Here's the second way that we need rest. We need mental rest. Oh, yeah, mental rest. And so when we talk about mental rest, your brain is constantly going. Let's just be honest, and it feels like it's going even more when we're in midlife, right? I know I'm not by myself. In midlife, I feel like my brain is working on overdrive sometimes, right? And so your brain never stops. You are constantly thinking about work. You're thinking about the bills. You're thinking about your family. You're thinking about your appointments. You're thinking about everybody else's problems. Your brain is constantly moving and shaking and trying to figure stuff out. But can I tell you what mental rest really looks like? Mental rest really looks like you journaling to get some of those thoughts out of your head and put them on paper so your brain doesn't have to hold on to them. One thing that I tell my clients to do often is to brain dump. Literally, don't look for a journal prompt to start writing out, but go put your hand to a sheet of paper with a pen or a pencil in it and just start writing out what you are feeling, what you are thinking. It's called brain dumping, and you can do it multiple times a day. Mental rest looks like prayer. Starting your day in prayer, going through your day. You don't have to get down on your knees and go into a whole devotion about it. Sometimes just sitting and having a conversation with the Lord and yourself, right? Sometimes you need to do that. Another way of mental resting is meditation. I love meditating. And I'm not talking about sitting on your crossing your legs and going, I'm not talking about that type of meditation. Sometimes meditation is simply this. I need everybody to sit up. Come on, sit up with me. Take a sip of that hot tea. I need you to close your eyes. And I want you to take a deep breath in for 4 counts. I want you to hold it for 4 counts. I want you to exhale it for 4 counts. And I want you to hold it for 4 counts. And it's called 4x4 box breathing. This is a type of meditation. It's a type of breath work that helps you to slow yourself down. Can we do it real quick together? 4x4 box breathing. We're going to inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts. Y'all ready? Can we do it together? Let's do it together real quick because I want you to practice this tonight and I want you to do it throughout the week. Here we go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Listen, you can do that 4 times, 4x4 box breathing. Do it 4 times, and you'll be amazed at how settled you will feel. And so that's mental rest, okay? Ask yourself as you are going through, what thoughts am I carrying that I don't have to carry today? Because what we forget to do is to have those quiet moments to ourselves sometimes. You know what I'm saying, Geronda? Sometimes we are sitting with ourselves and we are so stressed about everything that's going on that we forget that we can have a quiet moment with some hot tea. We can have a quiet moment to help ourselves not feel so depleted, Brenda? All right, here's the third way that you need rest. You need physical rest, number one. You need mental rest, number two. Here's the third way that you need rest, Piper. It's emotional rest. That's right. Emotional rest, Piper. We need emotional rest, ladies. And this one hits women hard. Why? Because emotional rest means pretending that you're okay. It's not that anymore. We're no longer pretending that we're okay. We're being honest with ourselves. Before we can ask the world to change, we got to ask ourselves, what do I really need to change about me? And it's being honest with ourselves. And it starts with emotional rest, right? And so emotional rest means that you're not smiling when you're exhausted. It really means acknowledging the fact of how you are really feeling. It means no longer saying I'm fine just to cover up how you are really feeling. It means that you are no longer going to press down those emotions that you try so hard not to show and not to be human. See, I told y'all before that Jesus showed us every single emotion there is. But why are we so busy and trying so hard not to even acknowledge the emotions that we have? And so emotional rest means that I'm going to be honest with myself first before I can even tackle the world and try to tackle other folks' problems and show up like God in their lives. I'm going to give myself some emotional rest. Can I give you an example? Because see, some of y'all won't believe me unless I make it scripture on you. Every time that Jesus allowed himself to be with other people, the very first thing he did after he taught, the very first thing that he did after he performed miracles, the very first thing that he did when he was with other people, when he finished all of that, Jesus would go and rest. When Jesus fed the multitudes, what did he go do? He went and rested. When Jesus was up on the mount getting ready to pray, getting ready to go to the cross, what was Jesus doing? He was praying and resting. See, every time Jesus did a thing, he rested. And so some of you keep going and going and going and never truly resting. And let me give you another example. God, after he created everything he was going to create, because God ain't created nothing since he created the very beginning. The Bible says on the seventh day that God did what? He rested. Yeah, let that sink in for a second. If God can create everything he's going to create, and on the seventh day he rested, and if Jesus, after every miracle that he performed, every time that he taught, every time he was with people, he was still away and go rest. My question to you is, why aren't you resting? Why aren't you resting? Why aren't you spending time with yourself, Miss Marjorie? Why aren't you doing the things you need to do for you? Why aren't you resting? And so where are you showing up like God in everybody else's life? Inquiring minds want to know. That's right. That's the third way of rest. So the first way is physical. The second way is mental. The third way is emotional. Here's the fourth one. And some of this is going to hit y'all hard. I'm just going to tell you that now. It's social rest. Social rest. Some people fill you up by their presence. You love being around them because they give you energy. But then some of y'all got some life leeches in your life that are completely sucking the life out of you. And so you feel obligated to be around them. They can be your children. They can be your siblings. They can be your parents. They can be your coworkers. Listen, there are some people in your life that totally drain you. And you know who they are because you feel some type of way after you've been around them. You have to go literally and decompress after you've been around them. That's social rest. Social rest means choosing relationships that actually fill you up instead of draining you. Yeah, there are some people in your life that you're like, you know what? I really don't want to be around them tonight. But you feel obligated that you have to be around them. And so what ends up happening is once you're around them, you got to go do something to fill yourself back up because they completely suck the life out of you. So my question to you is, sis, why are you still around them? If they're not bringing anything to the table, if they're not making your life better, but totally draining the life out of you, why are you still around them? One of the things that I challenge my clients on sometimes is simply this: go in and do an audit of the people in your life. That's right. Go in and do an audit. Put them in two columns. Do they drain you or do they refill you? And look and see how many people in your life are actually sucking the life out of you, or how many people in your life are actually filling you back up. And once you put their names in a column and you see what type of person they are when it comes to you, if they're refilling you or if they're draining you, now you know what you need to do when it comes to the relationship that you have with them. Is this a person that I need to spend more time with? Or is this a person that I need to limit my interactions with? And until you do that, you're not going to know. Here's the thing. You're not going to know why it is that you're feeling so tired all the time. Listen, I heard y'all say, girl, it's that job that's draining me. Well, the truth of the matter is maybe it's time for a new job. Maybe that's your way of the universe or the world or even God telling you, like, listen, I put a dream in your heart, in your presence, in your spirit for you to go after, but you keep going to this place that's draining you. Maybe it's time for you to do the thing that will pour back into you. It doesn't mean that you need to quit your job now, but it means that you need to begin to, listen, do the things that pour back into you. And so that social rest is what you need to really focus on. Some of you need to focus on your physical rest. Some of you need to focus on your emotional rest. Some of you all need to focus on your mental rest. But until you really put into action and be intentional about your rest, listen, you're going to continue to feel tired. You keep asking yourself, why am I always tired? Well, these are the ways that you're always tired, sis. Here's the next one. Number 5, the 5th way that you're always tired is you might need a sensory rest. Yeah, ever heard of that? Me either. I told y'all, listen, I started researching this whole rest thing when I had COVID in February, trying to figure out why I was feeling the way I was feeling. Some of y'all may need a sensory rest. And so, listen, our world is filled with constant notifications on your phone, constant notifications via email, the noise that's around us, television, the bright lights. Our bodies are constantly being bombarded by our sensory, right? It's constantly being bombarded. Our nervous system is always flashing. We weren't always like this. And so now when your nervous system needs to feel quiet, it doesn't know what that means. Here's the truth of the matter. Can I be honest with y'all? I had experienced this before. And type me in the chat if this is you. When you stop one time, and I experienced this back in February when I had COVID. When I sat down, right, and my nervous system just totally shut down because I had COVID, I didn't feel at peace at first. Do you know why? Because peace didn't feel normal. Shutting down didn't feel normal. At first, my body panicked. If that's you, when you try to slow down, does your body feel peaceful? Type yes in the chat or no in the chat. When you try to get rest, does your body feel peaceful? Type yes if it does or no if it doesn't. Because mine didn't feel peaceful at first. It was like, wait a minute, what are we doing? We're supposed to be doing something. My body was actually panicking at first because I was not doing. But then I realized, wait a minute, not doing doesn't feel normal to my system. And so I had to do the 4x4 box breathing that I showed y'all to actually get my system to calm down a minute and go, wait a minute, it's okay to be sick. It's okay to slow down. It's okay to slow my brain down so I'm not solving everybody's problem. It's okay not to go through my to-do list. It's okay not to remember the phone calls I got to make. It's okay not to go back through the emails that I need to respond to. It's okay not to sit here and turn on the television so I'll have some noise, but really just sit in silence for a moment. Some of y'all don't even like silence, right? And so that's really your nervous system not feeling normal, because it's not normal for your nervous system not to hear the noise. And so we have to give our nervous system more of that. We've got to teach our nervous system that it's okay. It's okay to be still. It's okay not to hear anything. It's okay to turn the phone off, not on silent, completely off, right? It's okay to sit in the shower for 10 or 15 minutes. It's okay to soak in the tub without the music playing or a podcast going. It's okay just to sit and hear your own breath, because you need a sensory reset. You need to rest sensory ways. Okay? Think about that for a second. And so one way that you rest, sensory rest, of course, like I just said, is turn the phone off. Another is to sit outside. Now, if you're in South Georgia right now, probably right now is a good time to be sitting outside because the sun is not shining and it looks overcast. Yeah, I love sitting on the porch right before it starts to rain, when the wind is blowing and you can smell the rain. Oh, that's the most amazing time. Am I the only one that likes that? And so sitting outside and hearing the birds and watching the squirrels and the bunny rabbits and all of that. So that's one way to get sensory rest. Another way is to turn off your notifications on your phone. Another way is to get rid of your smartwatch, because you got everything still coming. So even if you got your phone off, even if you got all of the notifications, something might still vibrate, something might still go. Turn it off. Another one is to drive without music. Just sit with your thoughts as you're going where you need to go. Not to sit with your thoughts to think about your bills, to think about the emails that you, no. I'm talking to really sit with your thoughts and have a conversation with yourself. Have a conversation with yourself, Brenda. Have a conversation with yourself, Piper. Have a conversation with yourself, Marjorie. Have a conversation with yourself, Geronda. That's a sensory rest. So that's the fifth way that we can rest ourselves, is sensory rest. Here's the sixth one, a creative rest. And here's what creative rest isn't about creating. Creative rest is about experiencing the beauty around you and in you. It's about experiencing the beauty around you and in you. So go watch a sunset. Go watch a sunrise, right? Go listen to music. Fresh flowers. Lawrence will tell you, I love some fresh flowers in my house. I love waking up and seeing them. I love being around them. I just love flowers. I love plants. My office with the school system has lots of plants around it. I love being around plants. I love being around nature. Art. Some of y'all are very artistic, right? And so a creative rest is simply you enjoying the beauty around you and within you. What makes you beautiful, right? Some of you can't even tell me what is beautiful inside of you. Brenda, what's beautiful inside of you? S. Reynolds, what's beautiful inside of you? What's beautiful inside of you, Marjorie and Piper and Geronda? What's beautiful inside of you? And so for the other ladies that are watching, y'all type in the chat, what do you feel is beautiful inside of you? Is it your personality? Is it the way that you laugh when something is so funny? Is it the way that you rest and relax? Is it the way that you take care of yourself? Is it the way that you just sit and just be sometimes? What's beautiful inside of you? Because the truth is, God created all of us with beauty inside of us, but we're so busy looking at the external that we forget to take a moment and just be creative in our own greatness, in your own greatness. Here's the seventh way that you rest. And of course, we know this as spiritual beings that we are. It's spiritual rest. And so spiritual rest looks like prayer. It looks like worship, reading your scriptures, knowing your purpose. That's what spiritual rest is. It's serving from overflow and not just emptiness. See, some of you are on so many different ministries in your church, it ain't even funny. And here's the truth. I'm going to just be honest with you. You're not being effective. Why? Because you're not being true to yourself. Not every ministry has to have your handprint on it, but there are some ministries that are really calling your name. And so when it comes to that spiritual rest, even knowing when it's time to sit down for a moment to refuel yourself. And so take a look at how you show up spiritually. Is it maybe that you've got to take more time for you? Is it that you're not living your true purpose, but you're living the purpose that other people see because they need you that way? What's your true purpose in life? Is it purpose or is it pressure? Were you pressured to be in this ministry, or do you feel that ministry is your purpose? Is it pressure to show up this way, or is that your true purpose? So when we talk about our spiritual rest, how are you really showing up in the world? For you first, and then for everybody else. So take out your journal, ladies, as I wrap up this one. Why are you always tired? It may be that out of the 7 that you need to figure out which one area really needs your focus. So which area do you need to focus on this week? Is it the physical rest? Is it the mental rest? It might be the emotional rest. Or is it the social rest? Do you need a sensory rest? Or what about the creative rest? Maybe you even need spiritual rest. This week, I want you to choose one area that you're going to be intentional about resting in. What is the one area that you say, you know what, Tracy, this is the area that I'm going to focus on this week? It doesn't have to be all 7. You can choose one to say that, you know what, I know that I am creatively depleted right now. And this is the area where I need to find and hit a reset button. That's what I want you to focus on this week. Choose that one area. And here's what I want to gently challenge you on. It might not even be physical rest. That's the one we always focus on. Because why? That's the one we were taught. We weren't taught about the other 6 so much. So don't cop out and just try to get that physical rest. I want you to think about one of the other 6 and say to yourself, is this an area that I need to focus on for me? I told y'all back in February when I had COVID, it wasn't the physical rest for me. It was truly the mental and emotional rest. In addition to the physical rest, which was what I was getting, I realized that I also needed a sensory rest, I needed emotional rest, and I needed mental rest. So I'm challenging you this week, choose an area that you know you need to get rest in. And not only that, here's what I always want you to do, no matter what you do during the 7 days that we're apart from each other. I want you to always remember to put yourself first on your list. Brenda, make sure you put yourself first on your list this week. All right. Reynolds, make sure you put yourself first on your list this week. I want you all to be intentional about your rest. Share this with a sister that you know who needs to know that physical rest is not always the answer. Okay. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not. Share this with a sister because she needs to know that, listen, all that rest that you're trying to get, guess what? You might need a different type of rest. And until next week, be blessed. And remember, guess what? You are amazing. Remember that about yourself. You're amazing. And I'll see you next week.